It did, and that's disappointing because we thought and we believe we could try to get something out of the game today. Having said that, obviously, we just spoke very briefly to the guys inside. We speak factually about it: 3 games in 7 days, traveling east, and then going back, and then playing the team that's winning the league in midweek, and then having to fly here. To be quite frank, we should be playing games like this with a schedule. That scheduling is completely inappropriate and unnecessary. It should be significantly improved, and no team in this league should have to go through what we've gone through this week. Having said that, 36 hours ago, our team was sleeping on the floor in Toronto at the airport. So throw that into it, and we've got a lot of reasons that we could say why we weren't quite at our best. Having said that, the game was there for us to score early and then allow them to come back in. We're a little bit disappointed in terms of how the second half went, and obviously the result.
Even at 2-1, Toby had a pretty good chance. He got a good look, cut inside off his left foot, I guess. Even when you guys went down 2-1, did you still feel that you could create chances to get a result in this game? Yeah, when we were losing 2-1, I thought we could get ourselves back into it. I wasn't surprised to see them score. I think when we went 1-0 up, we certainly didn't think we were going to get a clean sheet yet today. This is a very difficult place to play. We knew they would come at us. We knew they would create opportunities, but we thought we could get ourselves something out of the game too. When it was 3-1, it became very, very difficult to get ourselves back because you could see the guys ran out of energy at the end. And I just want to have that save by Andreas. Obviously, you've had some real world-class moments in this first 4 games with Toby's goal. What can you say about that save he made off the header, off the free kick? I say this a lot about players. There's a lot of talented potential in our group, and it's about these players taking those opportunities. And Andreas has done that. He's come in and he's played very, very well for us. It's tough for a younger goalkeeper to play with young players in front of him, but he's learning how to manage the players in front of him and manage moments. He's a big body. It's very, very difficult to get anything past him for the most part, but he's made a few big saves and he's going to continue to learn and grow. There's a lot when the ball's in front of him that he has to manage, but there's a lot when the ball isn't there that he needs to work on in terms of managing and communicating with the back line in front of him. Thanks, Alan. Safe travels. Thank you, Derek.
And Benedict.
Thank you, Alan. How important is it to get what was it to get Julian going, and now he's a goal and he's off the mark?
Obviously, it's important for attacking players to get confident and score goals. So hopefully he can take something out of that. But obviously, we wanted to score a few more goals than just a penalty kick. I thought Cairo's running behind was exactly what we asked him to do. So very pleased for Cairo to get his first start, but also pleased for William to get his goal too.
And Edmonton seems to be, sitting low and playing a deep block and focusing on it defensively. But do you worry at all maybe that invites a lot of pressure? Maybe sometimes that might lead to some mistakes?
I don't think we sat in a low or a deep block today for most of the game. I think there were moments that we had to sit deep, but there were moments where we tried to control the game in the middle. It started to press a little bit higher. So that's going to be part of our evolution as we go forward.
Yeah, that is our 3rd game in a week, so we did feel a little heavy in the legs, but yeah, no, you're right. I feel like we did get off on a good start, scored an early goal, and I feel like we would have just relaxed a little bit, kept our composure. But this is our first time going up all season, so I feel like we got pretty riled up, and we got to just learn from these moments and progress, hopefully.
I want to ask you about this team because you guys kind of been thrown together, but there is a lot of talent on this team. And is it just a matter of getting used to each other and kind of molding that talent? Because you look out there and there are some very talented players on your side.
Well, this is our 5th professional game together. We didn't have a lengthened preseason like other teams. So, I mean, we're still trying to get to know each other. Our chemistry is still growing. So I feel I agree with you. We do have a very special group. There's a lot of talent in this group, and I feel like once we figure it out, we'll be a good team. We'll be a very good team in this league.
This result withstanding, you feel that the team is growing in confidence the more it plays, and it's starting to feel like you guys belong here and you can compete at this level.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you can see it in moments in these games. We bossed the field. We moved the ball very, very well, but as I said before, we did have a shorter preseason. We didn't really have that match fitness that other teams had coming into the season. So we're playing catch up with other teams, and obviously we're gonna have some hiccups, but I believe in this team. I believe we can do some great things.
And last one for me, I guess, what's this week been like? You guys flew out to Hamilton, played a game there, you flew back home, played a game in Wednesday, and then a fly back out east. I guess, have you ever experienced anything like this? And what's it like as a player? Just the constant travel and playing, and going across the country 3 times.
Honestly, in the moment, you don't really think about it because you're with your friends and your team. So,
Yeah.
but once the game gets going and starts at the 50th, 60th minute, you start to feel it in your legs. But that's no excuse. We were up 1-0 this game. We could have come out with the result, but we didn't, unfortunately.
Actually, it was my second time.
Oh, yeah,
I
Blackville,
played
yeah,
with Blackville, but now I'm on the good side. So yeah, it was very very nice. The crowd behind us, and yeah. Good game.
How was the pitch? Was it?
Oh, the pitch for sure. The winter it's more difficult, but I think for like being bad like 4 months, like now it's good. It's good. It's not that difficult to play.
Anyone else have any questions for Zach? Yes.
So second half, you guys really seemed like you came out a lot stronger. What was Coach Hart's message to you guys at halftime?
I think the first half was more to observe others, like Edmonton observe us, and we observe them. But second half, the coach tell us what to do, and we apply that and come back with the 3 points. So that's the most important.
Any more questions in the room for Zach? All right, Jason, we can turn things over to Zoom if there's any questions.
All right, we'll start with Benedict.
Thank you, Zachary. You were involved in both the goals in the second half. Just wondering what you saw in those 2 moments.
I didn't understand. Sorry.
You were pretty involved in both the goals in the second half. Just wondering what you saw in those 2 moments as those goals were created.
Yeah, I saw again the midfielder just be open, and I start to run. That's how I play, and just give it to Sam, and Sam finished well. And after the penalty, it was good. The same thing, midfield turn open, I run, and football is easy sometimes.
Yeah, I think it's been a little difficult for him because, of course, he was out. He had to miss some of the preseason, and now we're trying to get him back into the squad. He's still a little off balance with the contraption he has to play with, but I mean, today I thought his movement was good. He pressed well. He got into some good areas, and you could see he needs a little more football, but I was happy with his performance.
Yeah, firstly, it's nice to be back in here talking to you about football. I want to talk about Sam Salter, who I thought was brilliant when he came on in the second half on the right. Where do you like him in that front three? Like, where do you think he works?
Well, I think uniquely he can play across the front three. I think deep down he prefers to be probably the 9, but at the moment we need him to fill one of the 2 attacking areas in that sort of half space, and he's sort of learning it well. He came on, he did well for us. He looks to get behind, he looks to be direct, and I want more of that from him. I still think sometimes when he picks up the ball, he doesn't recognize that he could take the man and make something happen. But yeah, overall, I'm happy with his play. He scored today. I'm really happy for him with that because we know he's had some chances in the past and things haven't gone his way. So good on him.
Any other questions for Stephen? Yeah.
Just coming back home, what do you make of being back at the Wonders, right?
Yeah, well, it's our home, and three games on the road is never easy, especially one where you have to travel 6,000 kilometers. So it's never easy. Look, I thought the game against Pacific, we were very good. We canceled each other out, and unfortunately, at the end of the game, we made a mistake. That's football, you know. But you know, I thought all the games we played, we could have gotten something from the game, and especially the game at Ottawa as well, where Ingram was the busier of the two goalkeepers. But it wasn't to be. So it was nice to come home in front of our fans, start with a win, start with 3 goals, and I'm happy for that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Last question for you from me. Tactically, it looked, I won't say better, but a little bit, you guys were pressing higher, a little bit up the pitch. Can you just talk about some of the changes that you made at halftime, or if there was any changes that you made at halftime?
We thought that one player, I don't want to give away too much, but we thought that one player wasn't timing the press properly, and we needed that. We needed to make them play at a speed that they are a little uncomfortable with. And because the player was a little bit late, they were getting out from the press. So we made the change, and we were much better in the second half in containing what they did. They had to rush that pass where before they were a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah. Go
Just
ahead.
about the 2 young fullbacks, I think bringing Tabby in, like the width he gives us and the attacking intent down that side was excellent, and Fernandez as well. So something on how they've settled in and what they give us from attacking perspective is different from last year.
I think Fernandez was fantastic in the game. Fantastic defensively and in offense. He was fantastic. And once he learns to deliver that final ball, maybe a little bit earlier, or be a little more patient and pick out somebody in the box rather than just whip it across. I think that boy has a big future. But he has to keep fighting. He has to keep playing. He has to keep fighting. It's the same thing with Tabby. Tabby's a converted player to the left back position, so he's still learning the position. At times, he's a little bit over enthusiastic, and it happens a lot with players that are very, very athletic. Eh? Sometimes they don't recognize that maybe positioning is better than having to chase, but he will learn. And again, he needs better final ball delivery. Something in like the one that went across the goal and we couldn't get on the end of it. But yeah, I'm pleased with them. You know, we know that they're going to have errors. I mean, who doesn't? You know, but I'm pleased with them.
Yeah, exactly. So just one more about the centre backs playing Restrepo there. Is that more to do with building from the back and having someone who can pass out quite comfortably?
Well, I think 2 things. If we need the internationals higher up the pitch, we can only start with 5. So Restrepo came in, and again, he was very good today, building out the back, very patient, and it worked out today very well. He was also very good in the air against some trees and some big boys. But yeah, it's nothing about Peter and Matteo. It's about this is what was required to accommodate the team we wanted on the pitch to start the game. So you make decisions. Some people may not be happy, but that's only 11 can play.
All right, Jason, we'll turn things over to Zoom if there's any questions there.
All right, we'll start with Benedict.
Thank you, Stephen. Someone who doesn't get a lot of headlines maybe is Pierre Lamoth in midfield. Maybe you saw his vision for a pass, especially on the second goal. How important has he been to your team, especially sitting in that midfield 3 with Rampersad and Gabriel Bitar?
Well, you know, he's a player that doesn't recognize the qualities that he has, and sometimes he will give up a pass to one of the more senior players rather than take the initiative himself. I want him to take the initiative. I told him, I need you to make that final pass. I need you to play passes into the box. I need you to drive to the penalty area. you know, and first half, the handbrakes were still up, but he started the second half well, and then he played that pass that just sort of gave him a lot of confidence, and he started to get into the game. Unfortunately, he took a bit of a knock, so we had to deal with it.